Hey guys, what is up? Sleeping Knight 77, aka Kyle, and welcome to my trick room. This week we are facing Leo, aka 6-foot Hacks, and the 7 and 2 Durham Druddigons. If you did not catch my team builder yesterday, please go check that out, as you will be able to see why we are bringing what we are bringing. But as you can see on the screen, I am bringing Staraptor, Necrozma, Arcanine, Aromatisse, Kyurem, and Mega Heracross, and Leo is bringing Garchomp, Raichu, Skuntank, Klefki, Mega Aerodactyl, and Cobalion. Now, the things that, looking at his team, really surprised me was no Victini and no Jellicent, and that made me very happy because I was very scared for those two Mons. I know that those two Mons could do... Jellicent's just annoying in general, and Victini takes a chunk of damage out of my team every single time it comes in. So I'm happy to see those two are not on the team this week. But as you know from week 5 against Professor FX, the Mega Garchomp that I faced did a number on me, and I wanted to avoid regular Garchomp doing the same. So, as you can see, I led Staraptor, he led Mega Garchomp, and without any further ado, we're going to hop right into the battle. So, as you can see, he leads, again, the Garchomp, and I lead the Staraptor. As you know, this Staraptor is a Final Gambit set, so I legitimately was just going to click Final Gambit, and that was going to be it. With Staraptor, and hopefully it killed whatever it Final Gambited. And since it is not max HP Garchomp, Garchomp goes down turn 1, Staraptor goes down turn 1, 5-5 game. Momentum in my favor though, because the Garchomp is dead, and I don't have to deal with it anymore, especially on my ground weak team. He sends in his Mega Aerodactyl, I send in my Kyurem. I did mistakenly say in the team builder yesterday it was EV to live a Adamant Stone Edge. It is a roll, it's about a 43% roll to live an Adamant Stone Edge from a Mega Aerodactyl, so the roll still is in my favor. However, you're going to see here that we do live on 9 HP. Very low HP. I do have the Wiki Berry, so I am going to get 50% of my health back. And I'm going to fire off an Ice Beam, which is close to the same roll in his favor of Ice Beam not killing the Mega Aerodactyl because it was max HP, as he told me afterwards. But it does, and so we're up 5-4 in a very fast-paced battle so far. He sends in the Raichu, its Focus Blast, and causes me to faint. Unfortunately, I put too much notoriety in the miss part of the Focus Miss name, and it hit me. And so, I mean, it sucks because Kyurem did have a very good matchup there. But all in all, I'm not too mad at left because I do still have Necrozma, I do still have Arcanine, which both of those Pokemon do still a number to his team now. So I'm going to set up the Trick Room here with Aromatisse, and I'm going to fire off a Moonblast. I know that it's neutral, and I don't have too much investment because I am a calm mindset, but it does still about half. He Poison Jabs me. I know I'm going to be able to live. He does poison me, which is a little unfortunate, but isn't going to matter. And I do find out that he is Life Orb here, so another Moonblast here probably might have killed. But at this point, he knows I'm not. He knows that I'm trying to play aggressive, trying to push the pace of the game a little bit. So I'm going to make a prediction here. Because Klefki seems to be the obvious switch. I'm going to switch to my Arcanine, and I get that prediction right. He does send in his Klefki, and I know that with the Arcanine, 1 or 2 Flare Blitzes is going to be able to take it out. He does set up Reflect, though, which is a little unfortunate because now I have to survive 7 turns of hell with this Reflect up. Because, I mean, everything on his team is going to take a decent chunk from Flare Blitz, even though I'm not too invested. But having that Reflect up does suck a little bit, just because I'm not doing as much damage as I normally would. So, I do fire off another Flare Blitz. He does allow me to kill the Klefki, which is good. I don't have to deal with this annoying prankster Pokemon anymore, and that is completely fine by me. So we are going to end Trick Room. Trick Room's over, and he's going to send in his Raichu right here. I'm just trying to waste a turn of Reflect at this point. So he does Thunderbolt, and it does a ton to me. So I'm thinking at this point maybe he specs, and that did a lot of damage. With Leftovers and Morning Sun, it brings me back up to close to where I was, but based on the damage he just did, it looks like it's going to be a roll to knock me out. But as you can see here, min-max rolls are a thing in this game, and if you notice last turn, he put us down to 42 HP. This turn, with less HP, he put us down to 43. So min-max roll, I do Flare Blitz here, getting a little bit aggressive because I thought maybe I was going to die that turn. So I do a little bit of damage to him, but I do get a snag a 10% burn, which, I mean, it might matter in the end, but I don't think it's going to matter too much. And I'm just going to sack off Aromatisse here because I don't need Aromatisse anymore. And it's going to allow me to switch into Necrozma for free. I know that even though this thing is looking like specs at this point, I'm going to be able to live a specs Timid Thunderbolt from a Raichu. And I'm going to be able to set up Trick Room and hopefully sweep all in the end with Necrozma here, because with 4 turns I can Psychic this Raichu, I can EQ, and then he has Cobalion, which is going to die to either 2 EQs or an EQ and a Psychic. So he fires off the Thunderbolt, and I get paralyzed. So at this point I'm thinking, oh boy, please don't get paralyzed here. I don't get fully paralyzed. I do set up the Trick Room, and luckily for me, this does allow me to hit a Psychic and make the Raichu die. So this annoying thorn in my side that I didn't think it was going to be annoying is now dead. And now he sends out the Skuntank, and I do reveal here that I do have Earthquake, and I don't get paralyzed again. Even with the Reflect Up, it does still kill the Skuntank. So now it's 3-on-1, and most of my team is at very low health, except for the Mega Heracross, which of course has not seen any action yet. And of course I am still a paralyzed Necrozma, so I debated here for a little bit about switching into Mega Heracross, but I unfortunately wasn't running calcs at the time, so I didn't know if a close combat from a Mega Heracross was going to one-shot the Cobalion. I was also fearing Sash, because he did set up a Swords Dance there, so I was fearing Sash a bit. I, of course, don't get paralyzed, and I do kill the Cobalion in 2 hits. I don't get paralyzed. Both turns, I don't get paralyzed at all. So a little bit of justice from last week, where I do not get any paralysis on the Latias, which, of course, in the end, didn't really matter. But it would have been nice for at least, like, you know, maybe 2 turns, considering I think he went like 8 turns in a row where he didn't get paralyzed. So a little bit of justice in that sense, but a lot of things played into my favor in this match. Of course, the kill on Aerodactyl, me living the Aerodactyl Stone Edge, him not being max HP, and dying to Final Gambit. Just those few things kind of favored into my victory. But again, a win is a win. I'm not going to complain about it in any sense of the imagination. I don't feel like hacks really played too much. There's a difference between hacks and rolls, and I unfortunately get the rolls in my favor in this match. So with that, we do get a 3-0 victory over Leo and the very scary Durham Druddigons. So he, of course, does fall to 7-3, and I move up to 6-3. Of course, my Week 6 match with KyleAye has not happened yet, and may not happen ever, so we're going to move on to next week, where we play Cykomore and the Paris Polytoads. Of course, Leo's link will be in the description down below, as well as all the other P4G coaches. But until next time, guys, I am Sleeping Knight 77, and I am going to go to sleep. Good night.